Welcome back to your Fantasy Football Buddies. I'm Steven Miranda.
I'm Jeff Ellis. It's Tuesday, September 6, 2011.
Today, we're talking about what to do when your big dog goes down.
In Fantasy Football for James, we're going to help teach you how to watch a particular player.
And we'll end with Week 1 waiver grabs.
All right. Now, what do you do when the big dog goes down? And most of us, when it's our real big dog, we cry. But this is fantasy football, and this is men. And we don't cry when our big dog goes down. Let's just say, hypothetically, I don't know, Peyton Manning isn't available big Week 1.
Yeah, well, I've grabbed him in a couple of early drafts that I had, and now I'm not going to struggle, and here's why. This is what you do. First of all, if you took Peyton Manning, we kind of hope that you drafted a very good, reliable backup because we knew the situation with Manning was a little iffy. However, if you didn't quite do that, Jeff, there are other quarterbacks out there. Remember, there's 12 probably still out there that are available. Later on, we'll tell you of a couple that you might want to think about. And you can also go out and be a good manager and strike a trade. There are some people like me who have Matt Stafford on their bench, who have Sam Bradford or Josh Freeman on their bench. Those are good players, Jeff.
Yes, they are. They're very good QB2s, and they can fill in very nicely. And you can also look with, particularly with the Indianapolis Colts, as we don't know what's going to happen with Peyton Manning when he comes back, is you can look for week-to-week matchups to play against defenses that you think are just stinky poo-poo.
That's right. And bottom line is, if you're going to make a trade, make sure that you offer value for that person.
Please.
Okay?
Don't be going out there with somebody who's on IR and offering him up for a solid backup, okay?
Jeff, I'll give you Ryan Williams for Matt Stafford.
Yeah, no.
There you
That's
go.
not going to happen.
Don't
Now,
do that.
on the Arian Foster side of things get a little different, and I think that brings us to a good segment of Fantasy Football for James.
Fantasy football for the little lion.
Because things get a little different here, the little lion. He's got a big roar, Steven. He does have a big roar. Now, this brings us to how do you watch a player. Keeping track of Peyton Manning is going to be as easy as keeping track of, I don't know, a family member. Seriously, it's not hard. But someone like Arian Foster, they're not going to talk about every single day on your local sportscast.
No. So what you need to do is you need to follow the beat writers. Find who covers that team that your player's on. For Arian Foster, it's the Houston Chronicle and John McClain.
John McClain? John McClain.
No, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
It's not that, John McClain.
No, I can't use the F-bomb there. Okay.
No, it's not the diehard guy. It's just
love
a
John McClain.
writer that follows football. And he'll tell you before anybody's going to tell you what's up with Arian Foster, right? So Cowboys, you got Cowboys players, follow Cowboy beat writers, et cetera, et cetera. That way you know what happens. And if you don't know who the beat writers are, NFL.com is usually pretty good, John.
Google's not a bad way to find out either about who the beat writer is. It's not hard. This age of the internet, there's no reason to not know. And you can know stuff. You can know stuff that back in the day no one could ever know. You can read these beat writers in these papers every single day if you want.
The other thing is they will tell you, is the guy practicing? Is he not practicing? If he doesn't practice on Friday, generally they're not going to play come game day, all right? The other thing is 1 hour before the game starts, you need to know if your player is active or inactive, and you will find out 1 hour before the game.
Exactly. So the network coverage that you're watching should show you. If you're overseas, they may not show you. So what you want to do, NFL.com/injuries, and they'll tell you that. The other thing is that you have to figure out, is he an early start or a late start? Early games, we know that's where the majority of the games are played. If you're fortunate enough to have him there, you then know when the injury report comes out if he's going to start. If you don't have an early game, if you have a Sunday night game, a late game, or a Monday night game, then you're not going to know, and you're going to have to be able to have more options available to you more quickly to go to those.
Those are the ones that get a little tricky, the late starts, because maybe all the backups you have go early. So you're going to have to decide. You're going to have to really know if that player is going to be available to go in the late game or not.
Trust your instinct and don't kick yourself in the butt if you're wrong.
All right, Week 1 waiver grabs. Here are some players that might still be available in your leagues and have some favorable matchups this week. We'll start at quarterback. I like Rex Grossman. Yeah, he's just been named the starter, but this week he goes against the New York Giants, and the Giants have a very weak secondary due to injuries, Jeff.
It is a complete mess there. I also like Ryan Fitzpatrick facing a weak Chiefs defense.
Yeah, and Fitzpatrick can light it up, especially with if he gets that going against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Preston.
Yeah, Johnson. That's
Stevie
the guy.
Johnson.
There you go, Stevie.
I said breasted.
You did
What a
because
boob.
he's kind of okay.
Whatever,
he
but
plays
it's
for Kansas
Stevie
City.
Johnson that is the man.
It was a good.
Now,
game.
in the running back front, we got James Starks here, who's announced.
Good news.
Unfortunately, good news for home. Ryan Grant owners are out there going, seriously? So Mike Tomlin has said, look, I'm going with the running. Mike Tomlin. Now you got me in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
you got me all over the place.
Yeah, you know.
Refocus here.
Sherman.
It has been announced that Coach Sherman has said that he's going to go with the hot hand, and he's going to try and get equal touches for Ryan Grant and James Starks there in Green Bay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's going to rise the stock for Starks, down for Grant. Other running back, Jerome Harrison there for the Detroit Lions. He looks to take plenty of touches from Javad Best. I know we like to say Javad Best is a beast.
He's a beast.
But
it
not
just
so
sounds
much.
cool. It
Yeah.
really isn't as cool as it
Not
sounds.
so much.
Now,
Wide receivers.
Jabbar Bar-Gaffney, one of my favorite names to say, he looks really good in his own virtually nowhere, and he goes against that Jets defense, that Giants defense we were just talking about. So you might want to look him up.
That's right. Grossman will throw to someone. He is someone they might throw to. The other wide receiver, Jacoby Ford. Thanks to Lewis Murphy being injured. Well, not thanks. We don't want to say
we're talking fantasy football.
Yes.
Arian Foster, don't get pissy with us. We're not talking about guys personally.
Yeah, because he is injured, Jacoby Ford's going to see a lot of playing time, and he is no longer worried with his wrist injury. Jacoby Ford's a guy to pick up.
On the tight end side, I like Benjamin Watson a lot going against Cincinnati. Just because he changed teams doesn't mean things are going to change that much.
And finally, another tight end, Todd Heap. I can't believe, Jeff,
again,
he's only
the team change makes people go, oh, panic, Will Robinson. No.
22% of leagues he's owned. That means he's available. He has found a home in Arizona. He is playing at home in Arizona against the Carolina Panthers. And Kevin Cobb, the quarterback, has liked to throw him plenty of targets, so I like Heap this weekend.
Nice chemistry. So that's all we got for you, and I'm Jeff Ellis.
And I'm Stephen Moran.
And we're your fantasy football buddies.